Hey, Harry.
Obsession is coming to the end of its theatrical release, which is incredible considering the film came out just under 2 months ago. Now that may not sound that impressive, however, this is an indie horror film which had a budget of $750,000, a cast of actors who have little to no experience, and directed by the guy who made Milk and Cereal for $800.
This was not part of the fucking plan.
And yet despite that, Obsession is easily, without a shadow of a doubt, my favourite film this year, and what I believe to be the best. This isn't really an in-depth analysis, more of just an analysis, I guess. I'm going to start spoiler-free, but we'll move into spoilers a bit later on. If we take a step back from the film itself, Obsession had a budget of $750,000 and was presented as an indie horror with strong but limited marketing. I went to go see the film opening day because from what I had seen it sounded like a nice little watch along with scary elements embedded throughout. This screening had like maybe a dozen people in it, and I was scared about that because this meant the film was gonna flop. Somebody's vision was going to be put to screen and nobody was going to see it. And that broke my heart because $380 million. Do you realise how incredible that is? How amazing it is that indie films are finally getting recognition? How impressive it is that a $750,000 film is making so much more than any superhero summer blockbuster, which had a budget of $170 million. Absurd. If we focus actually back on the film itself though, well, it's amazing. The story is so dark and palpable and never loses you, whilst also managing to balance that horror aspect. The horror itself is built on mostly tension within scenes, however includes a few jump scares. Curry Barker, the director, wears his love for horror on his sleeve and is never afraid to be silly or lean into the most tantalising aspects of the genre. The acting, well, I'm sure you've heard it all before, but I'll say it again. Indy Navarrete, I think I pronounced that right. Indy Navarrete? Hold on a minute. 1 fucking second. Indy Navarrete.
Not tonight, Harry.
Indy Navarrete has quite rightly become an internet sensation and is hopefully going to be in everything. She is utterly unbelievable in this film, even down to a slight facial expression, which tells the audience a million different things. I, on day one, started the Indy Navarrete to win the Oscar train, and I won't stop. Emily Blunt in Disclosure Day is maybe the only contender. But I feel so bad for the rest of the cast, because they were also so great. Michael Johnston is never outshone by Navarrete. They both challenge each other's acting perfectly. It's just that she's got much more to do, and when executed is just more impressive. Jumping into spoilers now, skip to here if you haven't seen the film. You know what other films talk about consuming a cat? American Psycho, one of my all-time favourites.
I'm in touch with humanity.
This story is so sinister with its themes and is never afraid to look at these issues dead in the face and address them. I love some of the show not tell, and Obsession does so much of it in letting the viewer unravel the layers of this event. Indy Navarrete is such a force of nature here, with how eerily her body can move through each frame and how she can go from 0 to 100 within just a couple of lines without ever becoming too jarring for me to watch. Michael Johnston can portray a spineless loser so easily, which now saying doesn't sound like much of a compliment, but it really is. This is such an awful human being. I was lost for words at some of the stuff Bear was saying.
I love you. I love you.
The tension in each scene building to the ultimate climax is so well crafted, so genius, and was written so well, and features maybe my favourite transition to end credits with that song playing maybe ever. And the car scene, yeah, this film's unreal. All I really wanted to say was, please go see this film, no matter how you see it, because it's unbelievable. It really is. It's so great. I'm going to probably do more of this like short style video occasionally if something's really on my mind, because I got this script done in maybe less than 30 minutes. To end, Obsession is unbelievable and I am in love with it. And I didn't even talk about Freaky Nicky.
It's fucking over us. This is no joke.